Lesson 5, area. So area is the size of an object, the space in between. So you have a bunch of formulas on your sheet for square, rectangle, triangle, circle, and cone. So when we are doing the area for this object, first for example 1, we need to find some missing information. So the first information we should find is the base of this triangle. And the way that we would find that is we would take this height and add them together. So 6.8 plus 3.1 is 9.9. So that is this height right here, or this base. We also should figure out what this length is as well. And the way that we can take that is take this total area, so 13.4, and subtract this area over here, so 6.2. And we should be left with 7.2. So now we have all of the missing lengths, and we're going to split this into 3 separate groups. So the first group is going to be this rectangle, the second group will be this rectangle, and the third group will be this triangle. So when we're finding the total area, we take the area of A plus the area of B plus the area of C and add them all together. Now we're going to go in and add our formulas for each area. So the area for A, because it's a rectangle, is length times width. Because B is also a rectangle, it's length times width. And because C is a triangle, you want to take your base times your height and divide it by 2. So this would be the formula for our area. Now we just need to find all of our amounts. So our red L, our length would be 7.2, and our width would be 6.8. For our blue triangle, or rectangle, our length is 6.2, and our width is 9.9. And for our triangle, our base is 9.9, and our height is 12.6. So now we're just going to plug that into all of our equations. So for A, we have 7.2 times 6.8, and it's better to put your numbers in brackets rather than write the times symbol, because that looks like an X, and sometimes we use X's. So don't use a times symbol anymore. For our B, our blue rectangle, we're going to take 6.2 and times it by 9.9. And for our triangle, we're going to take 9.9, times it by 12.6, and divide the whole thing by 2. So now we're going to just do each individual shape. So our first shape, we have 7.2 times 6.8. The area for A is 48.96. Then we do 6.2 times 9.9, and the area for B is 61.38. Now we do for C, so we would type 9.9 times 12.6 equals, divide it by 2, and we get 62.37. Our last step is to just add these 3 numbers together. So 48.96 plus 61.38 plus 62.37, and you get all together the area to equal 172.71. Now because we're dealing with area, we call this centimeters squared. Because we times everything by 2 centimeters, it turns into a centimeter squared. Example 2, a circular rug has an area of 16.26 meters squared. We want to figure out the diameter of the rug. So we're going to use the area for circle, so area equals pi r squared. Now we know our area, so we're going to plug that in for A. So we have 16.26 equals pi times r squared. Now what we want to do is we want to get r by itself, so we're going to divide by pi. So we take 16.26 and divide it by pi. And because this is going to have a lot of decimals, I'm just going to save it till our very last step to type this into my calculator. Since this is an r squared, to get r by itself, we want to square root. So what we're going to type into our calculator to find r is the square root of 16.26 divided by pi. So you would type 16.26 divided by the pi button equals, and you should get 5.1757, a whole bunch of decimals. Without clearing your calculator screen, I want you to hit the square root button, equals, and you should get r is equal to 2.27502 dot 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 dot, a whole bunch more numbers. So we're going to round that to be 2.3 meters. I think we're dealing with meters. So that's how you work backwards to solve when you know the area. And for the last example, Rebecca is planning to install sod in her backyard, which is 18.2 meters by 9.8 meters. If sod costs 28 cents per square foot, how much will it cost to sod her backyard? So we have this in meters right now, so we want to change each of them to feet. So we know that 0.3 meters is equal to 1 foot. And we have 18.2 meters, and we're going to convert this number first. So when we cross multiply and divide, we get x to equal 60.67 feet. Then we'll do the same thing for 9.8. So 0.3 meters is equal to 1 foot. We have 9.8 meters. We want to find the feet. Cross multiply and divide. You should get x to equal 32.67. So because this is dealing with square feet, we want to find the area. So we're going to find area by timesing length by width. So 60.67 times 32.67, and we get 2,013 feet squared. Now we want to figure out how much it costs. So we're going to take the 28 cents and we're going to multiply it by 2013, and altogether we get $563.64. So that's how much it would cost to sod her backyard.